Survive the Nights is an early access zombie post-apocalyptic survival game that was developed and published by A to Z Interactive on December 21, 2017. The game can be played as a single player or multiplayer, and you can buy it for $20 on Steam. Survive the Nights is a unique FPS survival game focusing on teamwork, fortification, creativity, and strategy. Secure a structure or roam free. The choice is yours. My name is AsionlyBlue and I'm a survival game expert. I do educational survival reviews by analyzing and explaining in depth game mechanics and ideologies. Unfortunately, Survive the Nights didn't make the cut, and here is the reason why I'm not going to waste 1 month of my life to review a game that is unplayable. Instead of that, you will get a first impression because that's all I'm willing to offer. This is an early access of a game that has been in development for over 4 years. It is currently developed by 5 people full-time, and the current stage of the game is unjustified. The game is so early in development that I couldn't finish a second stream. So what is Survive the Nights? Think about it as DayZ vibe, where you go from a place to a place and you loot food, weapons, ammo, tools, and raw ingredients. Same shit we've seen before, nothing too crazy. Where this game took a different approach than a regular survival game by introducing house fortification instead of house building. I don't have any issues with that idea, but the execution is what worries me. I didn't mess with the system too much, so I can't give you a constructive criticism, but it just felt weird not having fixed positions. The game initially was a PvP game where players were claiming houses and fortifying them to protect their loot. You can find different suitcases inside the houses that are gated behind weird recipes. I'm not going to explain the recipes too much, just imagine that you have to get really lucky to get all of the components that will allow you to access those storages. With that being said, the crafting and looting is by far one of the worst systems I ever seen, and trust me, I've seen a lot. The UI looks like it was made by a 15-year-old kid that was trying to make a clicker game and failed, so he decided to import it into this game to act as an inventory system. If we check some of the recipes like transferring water from a canteen to a bottle and vice versa, or creating planks out of different tools, then I'm just speechless. Sometimes you get a prompt that you can interact and loot, but no indicators verify if you already did or not. Things that you thought you couldn't loot are lootable with no indicators to do so. Imagine walking on the road and you turn to the wooden fence and you loot the nails from it. Isn't that amazing? Some entities, such as hay bale, sometimes render as one full object or individual, so you end up just spamming F to see if you looted everything. So obviously, crafting and gathering is not there yet. Even after 4 years of development, they couldn't copy-paste their own system. The funny part is that they already made the system. They just didn't bother placing in it in different lootable objects. Cooking doesn't fall behind. You need to consume an X amount of calories per day in order to improve your character, but you end up just throwing whatever you have in your inventory in a pan, hoping that you will get the right amount. You will expect calorie indicators and bonuses if you combine different ingredients together, but all you get is absolutely nothing. So the cooking system is not there yet either. Next one is the combat, which what you are about to see is me truly trying my best to survive by timing perfectly the enemy animation while getting to the blind spot of the zombie. Most of the people just swing their hands in hopes that they will survive. When you play at the hardest difficulty, each hit really hurts. What? Okay, your hit marks, bro. Yeah, it happened again. Yeah, I'm dead. I knew it. As you can tell, the hit points are all over the place, making the melee combat a clunky mess. Let's have a look at the range combat as well. We are not done yet. Do you want to play a game that put no effort into designing a house? Because after 10 hours of looting the same copy-paste houses, I couldn't stand even a second more to continue. The outside of the houses was actually not that bad, but after looting the same houses again and again, made me sick of the game. Despite all of the things that I said so far, I saved the best for last. The amount of bugs that I found while trying to just open the game is beyond your imagination. When I created my first game, for some reason the game was pitch black, so I decided to try and follow the guide, assuming that was intentional. After walking in the dark for a while, I decided to make a new one in hopes that will start in the morning. Well, there is no way to do that. You can mess with the files and eventually manage to start a new game, to then realize that the tutorial that you wanted to redo cannot be reset. Oh, I just want to reset my progression. How hard it is. The game keeps track of your character progression outside of your current playthrough, which actually made no sense. I tried so hard to make a new game that would start in the morning for recording purposes, and nothing was working. After literally hours of trial and error, I gave up and I started playing. Many hours later, this happened. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You have been disconnected from the server. So my loot was gone and there was no way to get it back. But I didn't give up. Here we go for another try. I died on the table, right? No loot. Yep, the third time was when I drew the line and I said enough. There is no point of me challenging my gaming abilities or investing any more time in a game that doesn't wipe my progression on demand but has no issues forcefully wiping my inventory. I could easily just drop the difficulty down and just go through the game to create the review, but the game is in such a bad stage that honestly I cannot afford wasting an entire month to make a review for a game that doesn't deserve it. It's a fucking $20 game, dude. It's like comparing Valheim with this shit. At least Valheim made it into a full review because the structure of the game is actually good. This is a joke. The mixed reviews says it all. Stop wasting your money in projects like this and find real developers that actually know what they're doing. I'm not going to touch the PvP aspect of the game because I couldn't pass the single player. The plan was to go through the single player to learn the game and then jump into a solo PvP server to see how players use the available system. To no one's surprise, players reported fortification spam where other players blocked access to all of the lootable buildings. Have a look at the reviews on Steam and make your own mind. I have no plans revisiting this game because I can already tell that this game will never see the light of the day. The least I would recommend to the developers is to make the game free to play and accept refunds no matter the amount that people played. Otherwise, this game will get buried in no time. I know I'm hurting your feelings, but it is disgusting to ask for money to play this. Take my advice or shut it down. You think you are developing a game, but all you do is scamming people. To anyone that made it that far into the video, it means you are really interested into playing this game, but you didn't want to waste your money. You done well. that concludes my first impression for Survive the Nights. Yet another zombie survivor game that I am more than happy to bury once and for all. Keep your standards up and let's find the next garbage. Agree or disagree? Let me know down below. Thank you very much for watching, I appreciate that, and if you want to see the playthroughs live, make sure to follow ICOnlyBlue on YouTube and Twitch. Other than that, I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Boy!